fan-made content for this Premier League season.
Bringing that real fan experience. Want to see some crazy?
Wherever you are in the world,
bringing you the latest opinions
and fan reactions.
Back again.
Welcome to FanPark Live.
Brand new shows every week.
UFF are going hard this year, you know. So make sure you lock in.
Come on!
Real fan opinions brought to you by Wash and Go.
Hello and welcome to FanPark Live. Chelsea 3, Arsenal 2. 6 points on the board for the boys from Stamford Bridge. 2 defeats from 2 for Arsenal and their revolution under Unai Emery. We want to hear from Chelsea fans and Arsenal fans alike. Contrasting starts to the season. But remember, time and change, they don't always work at the same time, and you have to give these managers the opportunity to embed themselves, especially with the mess that was going on at Arsenal. We want to hear from you on 0203 606 0315. I want your reaction. I want to know your emotions, your feelings. Give us a call. We're going to let you come on the air, the only fan station in the world that gives you ample time to speak. 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes at a time. So give us a bell. Joined again by David and by Matt. How are we, boys?
Very well, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah. David is a gooner, so I'm going to come to you first of all. How are you? 2 defeats on the bounce.
Yeah.
But how are you actually feeling about the way you performed and the growth and development of your team under Emery?
I thought today was at least a touch better than against Man City, of course. I think that the team played well towards the latter part of the first half, especially, cutting the ball from outside, going in, and we missed a ton of literally open goals in the first half, especially Aubameyang with his quality. I thought he would have finished his chance, especially. But, overall, not too depressed, but I think maybe Arsenal defensively could have done the better, especially Bellerin. I bet Bellerin got caught out a ton of times on that.
Many
on
times
that
today he was
side.
caught out.
Yeah.
And Matt, as a complete neutral to this, just so everyone knows, AFC Wimbledon fan.
For my sins, yeah.
Absolutely. So, literally, this man does not have a dog in any fight. There is no bias to what he is saying. I think that's really, really good for us to have here on FanPark Live. What did you make of the contrasting performances from both teams?
I thought it was a brilliant game, firstly. I thought the first half, if you'd have dropped in 20 minutes into it, you'd have thought that, Arsenal were completely dominating it. And if you watched the start, when I was watching the first 20 minutes, I honestly thought Chelsea might win the game 6-7-0, the way they were playing. It was just really energetic start for Chelsea. They looked in control. Arsenal defensively looked all over the shop at the back. And that really went in and out throughout the game. I thought Bellerin particularly stood out as somebody who was really standoffish and letting Chelsea come forward.
Yeah.
Majority of their attacks came down that left-hand side.
Yeah.
And he really looked out of place in the game. Other than that, I thought Arsenal generally, Guendouzi, I thought he played really well, actually. That's the first time I've actually seen him in action. And he looks like the kind of player that Arsenal have been missing for so long. Shoring up that midfield, getting in tackles, just being active,
spraying the ball,
spraying the ball, doing anything he can to control that space. But as a neutral, it was a great game to watch, even down to the end when Chelsea got the goal in the last 10 minutes. So pretty happy with that.
Yeah, look, it's an interesting one, and we're going to go to the air and we're going to take calls. From my point of view, again, watching 2 teams that are rivals, of my club, Manchester United. I saw some excellent moments from both sides. I saw some scintillating football in the opening 20 minutes from Chelsea, and I saw an Arsenal team that they looked punch drunk. It was like they got caught really early on the chin, but then things switched around and we saw a really good Arsenal for the closing 15 minutes of that first half, which is encouraging. And I think a lot of people involved with Arsenal, in terms of ex-pros and legends, the early part of this week were talking about, what has Emery brought? What has he been doing all summer? Where's the green shoots of hope? And I think you saw that today. Both teams still have real big defensive problems at times as well. But I thought as a neutral watching a game of football, I thought it was very, very good. still a long, long way for Arsenal to go, and I'm really eager to jump into these phone lines. Malcolm, we got any calls waiting? No calls waiting right now. Look, if someone wants to get on the line and give us a call, 0203 606 0315. We didn't get any calls on the last show either. I'm now starting to wonder if our phone line is actually working. But we want to hear from people. And we are having, Malcolm, we need you to fix one thing. We're having a bit of audio problems with this microphone here. So what we will do, if we put this microphone
in the centre
nearer them, we can't really move it much further over. If there's a few issues with that microphone, I'm not sure what it is, but we'll try and get that figured out and get that resolved so everybody can hear you. But we do want to hear from you on the phone lines, Arsenal fans, Chelsea fans alike. We want to know what you're sort of thinking and feeling. If you guys, actually, if you move around a little bit.
Yeah.
If you go, to your left and then you come around, there we go. Then we can both just share that microphone.
Yep.
Hopefully, that's a little bit better. Andrew here says, well done, lads. Great 3 points. Come on, Chelsea. So a few people making the comments here. But look, I think Arsenal fans need to remain patient. That would be my advice. If I'm going to give advice to anybody, is remain patient, because you don't want to sort of cut your nose off to spite your face, throw your toys out your pram. You've got a run of easier games coming up now. You've got West Ham, Cardiff, Newcastle, I believe. Winnable games. That's when you can start to see the difference. Some of those are away from home, some at the Emirates. Let's see the points total. Let's see the performances after this point. And then maybe start to, not even judge, but then start to assess things. Because right now you've gone up against Chelsea away from home, which is difficult. You've gone up against the best team in the country in the opening game of the season. I just don't think it's the right time for any gooners out there to be panicking in the way in which they are saying and doing things.
Definitely. Loads of positives for Arsenal, I think, to take from that game. Defensively, we all knew that they had their problems going into it. As I say, with Bellerin, they've had new centre-backs come in. Socrates, I think he done okay today. Maybe lacked a bit of pace on a couple of occasions, and
I agree.
And that got in the way of their defensive performance. But other than that, I think going forward, they had so many chances, and be it for a bit of luck and some better finishing, they could have won the game easy.
What Marcos Alonso did really well, of course, is that overlapping run on the left, which is what Bellerin lacks pretty much. He did actually create the chance. Obviously a few chances in the first half towards the end of it. But honestly, I think Bellerin, he just lacks that that physicality that a lot of the players have.
Seems nervous whenever he's being challenged.
Yeah, I know, and attacked by especially Hazard when he came on in the second half. He looked, down and out completely.
We just had him in his back pocket as well when he was coming forward.
Yeah, so I think, Bellerin, maybe Lichtsteiner, I think is more of a call for the next games coming forward. I really want to see him. I really want to see that physical presence on the position and see how he does and how he fares.
Yeah, I'm just testing our phone lines here because I think there's an issue. 0203 606 0315. I don't know if the lines are working because we never don't get any calls for Arsenal games. It's just saying it's engaged. What's the phone saying, Malcolm? But it's not ringing. It's telling me it's engaged, but no one's calling. So there's obviously something wrong with it. Yeah, I don't know the technical side of it. But okay, not a problem. If it would keep trying to call us, we'll try and get you on the air. Let's go to some of the live comments that are coming through here. An interesting player that does need to be spoken about within Arsenal's setup, because I see a lot of the gooners talking about it, is Ozil. Joint highest paid player in the Premier League, £350,000 per week. He's not performing like the joint highest paid player in the Premier League at the moment. Is he? There wasn't any effort today. No. There was nothing from him at all. It was really, really poor in terms of energy, work rate, tracking back. Do you think he's got a bit of a shelf life under Emre at Arsenal?
I think Ozil, for all his spectacular talent that he has, I think even when he came off,
he just looked
down and out.
He just
I don't know what it was.
Like he knew he'd done bad, and he didn't even seem to care in his facial expression.
I believe in him 100%. I think he's one of the most talented attacking midfielders in the world, and can be on a level with De Bruyne if he really goes for it. But with Ozil, seeing him from Real Madrid coming to Arsenal and so forth, you know, throughout last season and throughout, you know, possibly this season. Let's see. I want to see how he performs and how he steps up his game. You know, I think we were talking during the game about how is he tracking back? How is he, you know, breaking down plays? Is he actually trying his best to actually put in the defensive work as well? And he's not doing that.
It was mentioned, you know, is Emery going to stand for that? Is Emery going to put up with, you know, no matter what name he is, no matter what wages he's on, he will take him out of the team for somebody else that will,
like Ramsey,
work
came
with
on.
the system.
And
Exactly.
actually,
Ramsey came on, did exactly what was asked of him. He was unlucky, sort of grazed the bar with his shot. Could have easily been a goal. And he's the type of player that will put in the graft for whatever he lacks in terms of talent. Is Emery going to really look to somebody with more talent or going to do the job on the pitch?
True.
Well, this is the thing, and I think that Emery's doing the right thing by giving these big players an opportunity and a chance early on in his Arsenal managerial career. But I think what's really important for him to do is set that tone of this is what I need. I know he's been very public in saying Ozil's going to have to get involved in terms of defending. He's going to have to track back. And it's interesting because I see similarities between Emery and Jose Mourinho. I think with Emery, he's the kind of manager that it's not about the better quality people, as you mentioned. It's not about, okay, you're world class, you're very good, you're average. He will pick the average player if the average player is listening to the instructions and working for the team. And I think that's the most important thing. And I think we've created this vacuum of football fans that it's all about the name, all about the star quality, all about the razzmatazz, rather than actually, is that player doing what the manager requires? Is he playing for his teammates and in turn the fans? And I don't see that with Ozil. I see a man that, unless the ball's into his feet, he doesn't want to do anything. He doesn't really want to chase after the ball. Doesn't want to run into a channel. Doesn't want to get into the rough and tumble in a game if it's required. Doesn't want to track back. And for me, he's a bit of a passenger. When you're playing against the lesser sides where there's more time and more space. And do you know what? At home against West Ham next week, it'll probably look amazing because he's got all the time in the world and doesn't need to track back. But Arsenal are never going to get back to winning Premier Leagues, challenging back in the Champions League again until you have all players that are willing to roll up their sleeves and work hard. Absolutely, and that's the biggest problem with Ozil. And we all know how talented Ozil is. He's a fantastic player. He really, really is. But the problem that you'll find with him, he just doesn't have that. For me, he doesn't have grit. He doesn't have determination. And he lacks a heart. And I know Arsenal fans love him, but I watched him out there today and I just thought, you got Glendouzi. Or Glendozi. I think everyone's still pronouncing it differently than me. That young man showed more heart in the last 2 games for Arsenal than I've seen from Ozil in 3 or 4 years. And he needs to take a long, hard look at himself. He really, really does, because it just isn't right. It's really, really not. Let's do a few more comments here. We can take some comments off of Arsenal Fan TV. It says here, breathtaking passes from Jorginho. It absolutely was. And how good was Kante today? Almost playing as a number 10.
He is.
He is such a talented player, Kante.
Ridiculous.
And Kante is one of those players, I think all fans, whether you're Arsenal, Tottenham, United, everyone likes him. And did you also see that thing the other day? He sounds like Jar Jar Binks. Did you see that? Did you see the thing that he was talking about? We were talking about Emmanuel Petit or something. He's like,
surprisingly high pitched.
I was like, what's wrong with his voice? I never heard anything like that in my life. I really, really didn't. But obviously, we're just trying to get the phone lines back up and working. And when they do, I really want to hear from Arsenal fans. I want to know how much time they're going to give Emery. And phone lines are working. I can see Malcolm's answered the phones. There we go. Whoop, whoop. He's fixed it. I was actually sitting here. I was messaging like the management, and I'm like, this is an absolute... I was getting angry. I was like, this is crazy, because I like the calls. I like this to be done properly. And it should be up and running in a sec. Let's get the call straight through. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back in business. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
My name's Jason. I support Dagenham and Redbridge FC.
Hey.
Well done, you. Talk to us.
Go.
Give us your views and opinions on Chelsea versus Arsenal today.
Well, I thought Czech was shit.
Listen, you've got to get up a lot earlier than this if you're going to try and catch me out, you little troll. See, he's gone. First call was a troll. As soon as Petr Cech was actually brilliant today. That's how you know. Let's keep the calls coming through, young man. Thank you very much.
I was definitely a Leighton Orient fan as well by the voice.
Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Hi there, it's David.
Hello, David. Who do you support, mate?
I'm a Man U fan.
Man United fan. Great. Talk to us about Chelsea versus Arsenal today. What did you make of it?
From a neutral point of view, I think Arsenal they progressed quite well throughout the game. They made some good passes, some good interplay, but Chelsea they just have the better edge. The better edge over Arsenal today.
No, I would agree with what you're saying there. When you've seen Arsenal in these opening 2 games of the Premier League season, did you as a neutral fan watching today, did you start to see some improvements in this side from what we had and what we saw under Arsene Wenger? Are you seeing some slight improvements yet from Arsenal?
I see there's some resonance of Arsene Wenger's time and Ozil's play today. In his time,
he's gone. He's gone. There we go. He panicked a little bit there, but we'll get the next call through. Malcolm, are we recording these? I think we are. He's doing it. He's doing his best there. He is doing it. He's working hard, old Malcolm. He is. He's covering for Javern and Abs today. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
My name's Joshua.
Hello, Joshua. Who do you support, mate?
I support Arsenal.
You sound depressed. What's wrong?
Well, we lost. That's what's wrong.
Yeah,
I get that, and it's right to feel down. But are you feeling down in the same way as you did when losing under Wenger? Are you starting to see the positives that Emre is bringing to Arsenal Football Club?
To be honest, Emre, I feel bad for him because the players he has in that squad, they've still got the Arsene Wenger mentality because some of them aren't even working hard. It's embarrassing to watch.
Yeah.
Like, I have to say, my favourite player was Guendouzi and probably Torreira, who I think they showed like they actually wanted it. And Torreira was picking out passes, but Lacazette, I don't even know what he was doing either.
Yeah, well, Lacazette only came on for about 15 minutes towards the end.
Yeah, but he's the reason why they scored.
Yeah, I completely agree that Guendouzi and Torreira in the middle of the park.
Fantastic for 90 minutes.
Yeah,
Guendouzi,
absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, I
mean,
mean,
I just think we just need to be patient and just wait because it's not going to take 2 matches. And the 2 matches we played, they're against 2 great teams.
Yeah.
And fair enough, Chelsea were the best side today, and we just have to work hard and hopefully get a win in our next match.
I agree with you, and I think I would implore Arsenal fans to remain positive, to remain patient in this process, because again, if you look at you can look at Arsenal and Chelsea, and what the media is going to say, and I can almost predict the headlines in the Express and the Mail, definitely the Sun, is they're going to say things along the lines of two London clubs, both with 2 new managers. But look how much more accomplished Chelsea look. Look how better they look. They look slicker. They look more in tuned. You got to remember this Chelsea side. Yes, there's a sprinkling of new talent, but the core group of this Chelsea team have won 2. Yes, he's still on the line. This Chelsea team has won 2 Premier League titles in the last 4 years. So they're winners. They're good. They've got winners in there, and we know what happens with Chelsea. Every couple of years, the players stop working for the manager because they fall out with him. It will happen to Sarri, it happened to Conte, it happened to Jose, it happened to all of them. So to compare Arsenal and Chelsea just because you both had new managers come in the summer, it's apples and oranges. They're false comparisons in many ways. And Gooners need to remain faithful to their club. They need to not read the media. Talk Sport on Monday morning, they're going to be digging into the tactics and the defending and the tactical decisions from Emre, and that's who they're going to go after. And what I would say to Arsenal fans is stand by your manager, back your manager, support him, and if you want to have a moan about him, do it internally, but you need to remain as positive as you can because the media is looking to have you as Gooners turn inwards on yourself.
Definitely.
I agree with you very, very much because if you think about it, Emre, you can't. You just have to wait because I can see what he's trying to do, and his tactics, they look like once we master them, we'll be a very good side. But I think he needs to change the formation. That's my opinion because we need to play a 4-3-3 because we need to just get Ozil out of the squad. He doesn't even look like he's working hard enough. And with Guendouzi, Aaron Ramsey, and Torreira, you have a balance because Aaron Ramsey will be able to attack and score goals for us. Guendouzi will play that box-to-box role, going back and then spraying passes. And Torreira, he's just a wonderful player. I was wondering why he didn't start, but as soon as he came on, we looked a bit. He just looked. I don't know. He's just got some amazing vision. He just spraying passes around, and I just think moving forward, he needs to do that because you can't. Yes, Ozil has a lot of quality. We all know this, but he needs to work harder for this team. That's the only thing that he doesn't do.
I wanted to ask Joshua, what do you think of Iwobi starting throughout the game? Because I think Iwobi played well.
Yeah, he had moments. Iwobi.
He done well.
Yeah.
Listen, really do appreciate your call. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Josh.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Cool. We're gonna get another call on the air now. I want to hear what more fans are saying and thinking. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Deepak.
Hello, Deepak. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm cool, thanks. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm very well. What team do you support?
I support Arsenal.
Arsenal. Okay. And look, how are you feeling after that defeat at the hands of Chelsea today?
You know what? I'm feeling really, really, really positive. I think in the last 6 days or 7 days since our last game against Man City, you can see like Unai's got a plan. And it's working. Okay, we have holes, but let's not forget that he's trying to undo 22 years of what Wenger did.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the players are trying to gel. I hear a lot of callers. You know, they're saying Bellerin wasn't playing that well. But if you look, Bellerin is not just playing right back, but he's playing right winger as well. He's up and down that part. Maybe one of the reasons Lichtsteiner's not playing. That Guendouzi, like the 19-year-old kid, he was up, let's not forget, he's up against a World Cup winner, plus Ross Barkley. And then when Barkley come off, then they put Kovacic on and stuff. You know, it just needs a bit of time. I mean, to go 2-0 down away from home, I think that was our first best away performance, including all of last season.
Yeah.
And then to come 2 up, we could have easily capitulated, you know?
Yeah, do you know what? I think at this stage, I said this in pre-season, I said it actually at the end of last season to a lot of Gooners, you know, don't expect top 4 this year. Don't expect to be challenging for titles straight away. Look, you're Arsenal Football Club. You're in the top 3 biggest football teams in England in terms of your history, your heritage and fan size. But you fell so far from grace in those last 4 or 5 years under Arsene Wenger. It is going to take time to rebuild your great football club. And the worst thing you can do is side with the media. The worst thing you guys can do is capitulate and start attacking the manager because your rivals are giving you a bit too much banter at work, a bit too much banter on social media. Because I've seen Man United fans do that. The only reason they've turned on their current manager is because too many rival fans give them jip, and they'd rather sit on the same side as they'd rather be on the outside of the tent spitting in than on the than the other way around. And I think what you're saying is right. You lost today. But if I was a Gooner, I would be feeling positive because I saw improvements this week. And do you know what? You're going to play West Ham next. And I think if you improve again over this next 7 days, you play West Ham, you'll beat them. And then now there's some positivity. And they're slowly, then slowly start moving. I think any knee-jerk reactions, any ranting from fans, any idiotic Gooners calling for Emre's head right now, I think they are an abomination and a big shame on your football club.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, I was watching it on BT Sport, and Glenn Hoddle and Steve McManaman did not have a word to say. Even when we scored our 2 goals in 4 minutes, there were so many positives. Yeah, there were holes. There are going to be. Change takes time. However, I think, you know, the fanboys are going to be the fanboys. They just expect someone to come in and overnight change things. No, but the real football fans can actually, anyone can see the positives from there. I mean, let's not even forget, we missed like a handful of chances as well. Had we have taken them, we'd be coming away singing Unai Emery's name. Now, you know, it's going to take time, but it's so positive. Did you see he took Ozil off? I mean, who's got the balls to take Ozil off, right?
Mate, exactly. We were sitting there watching it, and I was like, that is the right decision because that. And do you know what he's going to do? And we'll end the call on this, but this is what he's going to do: is he's going to give the likes of Ozil, the star players, the big names, the opportunity to play because of who they are and what they've done.
Give them the rope.
He will. Exactly. He's going to give them the rope, and then when they hang themselves after 3, 4, 5 games, and then you have Aaron Ramsey starting over him, the likes of Torreira, Guendouzi in the team. They are going to flourish, and it's going to set the precedent that Emery doesn't take prisoners. he's disciplined, and he's the main man. And you can't just stay in the starting lineup when you're underperforming like you did with Wenger.
Yeah.
And that should change the culture in the dressing room that spurs Arsenal on to getting back to where they should be for a club their size and right at the top. Listen, really appreciate your positive call, mate. Thank you. Take care. Let's keep these calls coming in. Malcolm, enjoying these now. We're on a roll. It's nice to get a positive Arsenal call.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Hello, it's Herschel.
Hello, mate. How you doing, bruv?
Yeah, not too bad.
Who do you support?
Arsenal.
Arsenal, cool. How are you feeling after that game today? Go on, tell us your thoughts.
Well, 2-0 down, and I was talking to my friend, and my friend, he obviously supports Arsenal as well, and for some reason, I honestly thought we was going to get back into it. I checked the odds, it was 22 to 1, and I fancied us. So I put a bit of money in us, and I thought, I think we'll do him, because he's playing quite well. And he was going, no, you're an idiot. 2-1. Said, watch, mate, watch, honestly. 2-2, and that was at half time. I was buzzing, I was thinking, yeah, that's it, we're going to get in there. And second half, and I thought, that's it, we're going to get back into the game. Even though Chelsea were all over us and everything, I just had that little feeling that we would beat them. But I don't know what happened. The change, I don't understand why he doesn't play that Torreira with Randy in the middle, because that little B-Tech side stroke boss guy, okay, obviously he's young, bit of a clown, looks like a clown. He's young, he's a young kid. He's a young kid and all that, and they train him into the deep end, and I think he's not ready. He's not ready yet. He's not ready at all. And you've got good youngsters coming through. You've got some quality players there, like Adam Bednam. He's one coming up through the ranks. He's only about 17. He's a decent player. And you've got I think it's Benjamin Goggleswaith. I think he's coming through. But I think the whole youngster situation that he's implying here, I think it's a good thing what he's doing, but I think he needs to just play his best team. For some reason, Czech should not have started. Czech should not have started at all.
What? Czech was brilliant. Czech's your man of the match. He's the only reason you didn't lose by more.
No, you're correct. No, I agree with you there. Terry Chocolate Orange, I completely agree with you there. But this whole myth of playing it from the back and all this bullshit, sorry for swearing, you swear, sorry about that. I just think that's a complete myth, to be fair. I think.
What's the myth?
Well, where people are sort of creating, saying that this is a whole new way of playing everything here, from the goalkeeper and all that, blah blah blah. All the goalkeeper does, he just kicks it out wide, and that's it. Do you know what I mean? Or kicks it out and they try to play it. And I honestly think that that's just not even a thing. It's not even it's not playing FIFA, innit? Do you know what I mean?
I'll go long in FIFA.
But it is a thing.
You know what I mean?
No, but I get your point. But it is a thing. The idea of playing out from the back is teams that play like that don't want to always go long, because if you kick the ball long. No disrespect. Look at your strikers. Look at all your forwards at Arsenal. Would you really want to knock it long to any of them? Does anything about Aubameyang's world class? But is there anything about him which makes you think he wants the ball on his chest and then he wants to bring it in place? So
that's why Arsenal should have signed Fellaini, mate. And we should have signed Fellaini and then lob it up to him.
Fellaini?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, Fellaini all day fucking long. Desperate.
Jesus. All right, mate. Listen, really do appreciate your call. Thank you very much.
Oh, wait. Go on. To say, I was also just quickly, I don't support Arsenal, I support Tottenham, mate. Come on, you know.
Look at this joker, mate. Go back to
do you know what? I started
toilet
to get my
stadium,
suspicions
mate.
when he was the Fellaini thing up. Fair enough. And there's a lot of people here. Lots of people just writing autism. I was trying not to laugh, but yeah. Okay, cool.
It is a joker.
That all started to make sense towards the end there. Malcolm, my young friend, let's get some more calls on the air, please, mate. Hello and welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Jamie.
Hello, Jamie. Who do you support, mate?
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Okay. What did you make of that game today? Sarri ball starting to take shape, or are there still big holes there in your club?
Nah, listen. What I saw today was domination. Yeah, that's what I saw today, and I saw Arsenal have a crazy 10 minutes. That's what I saw right there.
So you're not worried about the fact that not only did they score 2 goals, Aubameyang and missed 2 sitters, so did Mkhitaryan. Like, they could have beaten you today if they had their shooting boots on.
Nah, listen, coulda, woulda, shoulda, innit, bruv. If you don't take your chances, you're not going to score, yeah? Bruv, listen, David Luiz, you know, I'm not too confident with Azpilicueta at right back anymore. I think Man's had his time there. Maybe we should move him back to centre-back, play Zappacosta on the right. I don't know. But, bruv, listen, apart from that last, like, the 10 minutes, like 35 or whatever it was, to 45, bruv, the game was domination, bruv. Let's be real.
Look, you were the better team, and I think you deserve to win. I suppose what I would still be looking at if I was a Chelsea fan is the fact that against Huddersfield and against Arsenal today, both of them were created some decent openings and opportunities. And look, you picked up 3 points, and that's the most important thing. However, there are still some areas that you need to tighten up with and improve on. However, I think
Yeah, of course, I agree. We didn't bring Rugani in. I wanted to bring Rugani in. I was hoping maybe Chiellini would join on a free, but he re-signed for Juve. But there's room to improve, of course. I would bring in, I don't know, Harry Maguire is a bit he's a bit high right now. So I wouldn't bring him in. But yeah, definitely I'll target a centre-back. Maybe even Koulibaly from Napoli.
I get that. In terms of Chelsea, though, moving forward this season, top 4 contenders or title challenges for you?
Yeah, bruv, come on, man. What do you mean, bruv?
Top 4 challenges.
100%.
You're not going to win the title, though. You're not going to challenge for the Premier League.
Of course, I want to challenge for the Premier League, but top 4 for me is already confirmed.
Already confirmed? How's that?
Yes.
How can you say
Look
that?
at the team. We fucked shit up, bruv. I know it's early, but I have confidence in my squad, bruv. We got the best player in the league.
I kind of agree in some way in terms of, you know, throughout, you know, the first kind of 45 minutes was the 60th minute before Hazard came on, Chelsea looked pretty good, and when Hazard came on, Chelsea looked even better. With Kovacic as well, you know, who I think is a great talent.
Didn't get to see much of him, yeah.
Yeah,
but hopefully we'll do.
But going back on, I think, you know, with Chelsea, there's kind of like hit and miss. Sometimes they can misperform against smaller teams as well. I think Chelsea need to wait until they play, you know, go against like a Man City or Liverpool. And then they can see where they're at in terms of title challenges and top 4 maybe, and see what they can do also. Europe.
What did you think? Just wondered what you thought of Conte and his role that he seems to be doing at the minute. He seems to be a bit more forward and a bit more of a sort of. It seems like a number 10 sort of role.
Kante.
Yeah.
I thought the man. He's back.
Sorry. That's the French accent I'm using.
Conte.
But yeah, what did you think of how he's doing at the minute?
Kante, yeah. Kante's playing that kind of Alan role that Alan was playing at Napoli, where he's pushing forward. Because Sarri's style, he likes to bomb the wings and like overload. I don't know if you noticed that with the first half. It was like we had like 4 wingers at one point. So it's like, of course, with the formation we have, Kante has to get forward because I don't want Jorginho running up and down the field.
Yeah, true.
No, I get that completely. Listen, bruv, really do appreciate your
Cheers,
call. Thank you very much, mate. Enjoy your night.
Yes, bro. Take care.
Cool,
Bye.
Bye.
Very happy Chelsea fan. Very happy Chelsea fan.
Honestly, I
didn't see any negatives.
I honestly thought that Chelsea played really well today. I think.
Let's just answer this call.
Yeah,
sorry.
Right.
Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name? Hello.
Hello.
Hello, mate. What's your name?
Nano.
Nano.
Yeah, Nano.
Nano, like iPod Nano.
Sorry? Yeah, iPod Nano.
Yeah,
iPod Nano.
Who do you support, mate?
Arsenal, of course.
Arsenal. Go on, tell me your thoughts and your feelings after this game today, mate.
I tell you what, though, man, I think everyone should give patience to the new manager. I mean, when we lost, it wasn't a Wenger defeat. You know, it was more like a tactical defeat, and I'd rather have a tactical defeat than a Wenger loss where, you know, everything just, you know, by the end of the first half, then we were 4-0 down. I think we should give him time. I can see what he's trying to do, but
I think we should have got some wingers. I think Aubameyang is lacking service, Lacazette as well. I think we need wingers.
The whole Dembele story coming again.
Wingers. I think our defense is all right, but I think we need wingers. We're lacking wingers. We're so narrow. It's just everything is just in the middle. We need to spread out, and I think that's my thought for the whole game, really.
Yeah, I think you're true on the point of lacking wingers. Like I said earlier, I thought Iwobi played really well today. Mkhitaryan actually played pretty decent himself. That assist and a goal.
They just get so exposed when they try and support when Bellerin. I hate to keep getting onto Bellerin because he is the target of some unfair criticism a lot of the time, but when he gets forward, coming back, it's just too much of a struggle for him to kind of adapt to that defensive style.
Yeah.
So that leaves you exposed, and definitely if there was more wing power and pace on those wings, as you're
100%.
saying, then it would go a lot better for Arsenal in games, I feel.
Mate, really appreciate your call. Thank you very, very much.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. I kind of understood what he meant there, actually, when he says that tactical defeat. They were outplayed, is what he meant, as opposed to capitulating mentally. Sorry, mate? Yeah, let's put another call through, please, Malcolm, my friend. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Name's Joseph, Arsenal fan.
Now, you sound like a depressed Arsenal fan. What is wrong?
Oh, no, who's depressed? I'm actually happy, I don't know.
Then cheer up your voice, young man. Smile with glee.
No, it's just because I've been on here for like 15 minutes. I was like, oh, God, are they going to pick up or not? That kind of thing.
Oh, sorry, mate. Go on. Tell us your thoughts and feelings.
I'm actually really happy that Czech has been more comfortable on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's doing well for himself. He's actually fighting for his place, and I'm starting to think, wait a minute, do we really need Leno, that kind of thing? So I don't know, because Czech was pulling off some really good saves. So I'm actually impressed by him.
Definitely.
Absolutely agree.
We were talking about this off air and saying that if Arsenal hadn't have signed Leno, even though Petr Cech made a couple of mistakes in the opening game, he wouldn't have suffered the same level of scrutiny, in my opinion, if there hadn't been a new goalkeeper purchased. As an example, I thought his distribution today was just fine. His quality in goal as a goalkeeper, saving shots, was phenomenal. As good as he has ever been today. Yeah. So I think Leno will become the number one. I just think what Emre's doing, he's slowly bleeding in these new players. And the interesting thing is, if you look at Fulham, if you look at Wolves, if we look at West Ham, all three of those teams were put up there as having some of the best transfer windows in the Premier League. None of them have won a game yet. All of them are playing the majority of their new players collectively straight away, rather than doing what Everton have done, who were very unlucky not to beat Wolves after having a man sent off early, and they beat they beat today. Did they beat? They beat someone today. Everton. I can't remember. Southampton, I think. But it's a case of they've slowly bled in their new signings to a point where their 3 Barcelona signings are still not in their squad. Yeah. And I think what Emre's doing is right. He's slowly bleeding in these new signings to understand the Premier League, to the pace of it, the challenges that it brings in, slowly embedding them in with their new teammates so they can create a team. I think if he threw every single one of your new players in from day one, there'd be even less cohesion. Because not only is it new players that don't know each other, it's a new system, a new ethos, a new work ethic. And to think that Emre can click his fingers and in a couple of months get all of that to fit into place overnight, I think anyone who believes that was going to be possible is either being exceedingly disingenuous to Arsenal or they're just deluded.
Yeah, it's just I'm not happy with some people that are already coming for his head, because I'm actually seeing some effort being put in by Bellerin. I know people are going to be like, oh, he didn't do good this, but I actually saw him putting some sort of, I don't know, he was going in on goal, he was cutting back, I don't know, I'm not going to say he's a top notch right now, but he was doing good. Yeah. And then the rest of the players, Guendouzi, oh God, that guy.
Yeah, Guendouzi's really good.
He's something else.
Yeah.
I don't know, we just have to be patient. We just have to stick with Emery. Let's see what he's doing. Let's not jump into conclusions and say, oh God. Look at the 2 matches we've played. We've played Manchester City, we've played Chelsea. The Chelsea match, I feel like it's just a bit of hard luck. But Manchester City, we shouldn't be embarrassed about it.
Yeah, no, it's perfect.
So
and we put up some fights
see what he does
Chelsea.
eventually. I feel like he's like you said, bleeding in his style, his ethics and stuff.
Mate, look, I agree with you completely. There needs to be much more positivity from Arsenal fans, and you need to create a united front, and you need to stand up against the mainstream media. You need to stand up against your rival fans that are going to... You've only got to go through here right now on my channel, The Football Terrace, on Arsenal Fan TV, on the Ultimate Football Fan YouTube page. I'm looking at all the live comments, and there's so much negativity on there for Emre, but that's all coming from your rivals. And they might even put a little profile picture up to look like an Arsenal fan, but they're not Arsenal fans. They are just trying to create this narrative that Gooners are unhappy with what they've got. And do you know what? The most Gooners I speak to are relaxed. Most Gooners I speak to know it's a 2-year process minimum until you even potentially start competing week in, week out with the big boys in the Premier League because of the mess that Arsene Wenger left behind. So well done, my friend, for being positive, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Hey,
cheers, mate.
Wait, last thing.
Go on,
mate. There was this part in the match where I started thinking, do we really need like wingers? Because the wing backs were really like on top of it today. So I don't know. They're probably somehow gonna hear this or something, but I don't know. Congratulations to them. They're working hard. That's all I just want to say.
Yeah, I completely agree. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Take care.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. That's some really good. Again, it's really nice to hear Arsenal fans being really nice to hear Arsenal fans being positive, because what I didn't want to see is them turning too soon. And they seem really great, really positive, and I think that's the right thing for them to do. We have our last caller of the evening who's about to come through. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
My name is Derek.
Derek, who do you support, mate?
I'm an Arsenal fan, mate.
Good. Tell us what is on your mind, Del Boy.
I'm actually not mad about the result. Well, I'm not mad about the game. Obviously, the result was unfortunate, but all in all, it was not as bad as I thought it would be. I'm actually looking forward to Arsenal games now, which is rare. So I would say I saw some positives. For one, Czech was brilliant, I thought. Although the one negative I would say about Czech is I want him to actually stick to the pass and stuff as well, because he is going to be bound to make mistakes, but you really learn from your mistakes, don't you? So I like him to just stick with it, because sometimes he panicked a bit and knocked it forward. If you watched the game, didn't you? And he knocked it forward, which is sometimes not the greatest. So I like him to see if he can just pass that back more. Who else? Gondouzi was great. That's really good. I liked Iwobi. I would say I was one of his critics, but I think he really put in a shift today. The only person who really let me down was probably Ozil. And look, I'm not one of those emotional Arsenal fans. I'm not going to say, oh, we didn't win, so I'm going to be so mad. It's just that if you actually put in the work, or you have the right attitude, and we lose the game, I'm not going to be too mad about that, because at the end of the day, we gave it 100%. But Ozil just did not look interested.
Did you read much into his expression when he came off? Did you see that when they zoomed in on his face when he came off? Did you read much into that? Because it looked like he was despondent, you know, like he didn't care.
Look at Bellerin, who was making a lot of mistakes. But one thing I would say about Bellerin, did you ever see him give up over the 90 minutes?
Yeah, exactly.
He kept on trying. He kept on trying his best. He makes mistakes, but that's what Emery's here for. We have 2 years to change that. I'm not expecting an overnight change. I expect Bellerin to get better over 2 seasons. And I want him to make the mistakes now. Like, I don't get how our fans expect players to get better without making mistakes. That's so stupid.
The only thing
you make mistakes in normal day life. Why is football any different? So today, I'm actually not that mad. I actually enjoyed the game. I thought it was a good game.
Yeah.
Well done to Chelsea. They deserve to win the game. But I saw some positive. I mean, if Mkhitaryan could have scored and Aubameyang would have probably won that game. I want to know also about mentality. Look at Mkhitaryan. He made that miss, but what did he do next? He went and scored. He didn't drop his head like Ozil did.
It could have easily been done.
You know
when
what?
It was 2-0 down.
I made a mistake. I'm gonna put a goal in. That's the kind of mentality I want. Aubameyang, he had to say his miss, but again, he kept on trying to score. I have no problems with that.
Mate, and do you know what, mate? You are so right. And do you know what? I'm going to talk about my manager for a minute, just to clarify your point. Jose Mourinho said this about Paul Pogba the other day. You know, if a player's working hard, if a player's trying to do the right things, playing for his teammates, playing for his fans, they're entitled to make mistakes and they're entitled to have a bad game. That isn't a reason to. I think the issue that I would say, when you look at Ozil, when he has a bad game, it's because he looks disinterested. And for me, I can accept a goalkeeper doing what Karius did in a game, not on an every game basis, but you can accept
The
that.
odd howler,
You can expect, you've got a world-class striker in Aubameyang. If he misses a few chances like that this game, if everyone starts acting like children, turning on and giving him abuse, all you're going to do is damage his confidence.
Yeah.
And the most important thing you can do is do your job. Your job in this cycle of being an Arsenal fan is to support. And at this early stage in their careers at Arsenal, in the new regime with Emre, support. Yes, you can be critical in little areas, but it still comes back to support, And I think if Arsenal fans stick to that and do that, your club will turn things around. But you are playing a very vital role in that. Mate, thank you for your call.
Yeah. Before I go, can I just say one more thing?
Yeah, go on.
To the Arsenal players. The biggest problem with Arsenal is not physical. Like, our players are fit enough, our players are strong enough. The biggest thing is mental. I feel that 2 months is not going to be enough to change a lot of mindsets in the players. So he needs at least 2 seasons. So we need to get behind Emery. None of this BS Arsenal fan, kick him out, and all that bullshit. Sorry about the swearing, but this is the time to really get behind the team, because we're not going to get another chance. If Emery doesn't work out, he's not really looking good, is it? So let's get behind the players, help them mentally. If they get stronger mentally, you never know. We might be winning the Premier League in 3 years.
Yeah.
That's my call.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Mate,
listening.
thank you very much, mate. Take care of yourself, buddy.
One thing I want to say is that. Oh, nice.
All right, cool. Yeah, we're going to speak to Devon. Got one super chat actually that's come through on Arsenal Fan TV. I will read it out for you from Chris Tips, who says, "Hey guys, get ready for the troops time stamp." I don't actually know what a time stamp. I don't know what that means.
I think it may be.
I'm so old.
Predictions or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But you gave us super chats. We try and read it out. Oh, and there's another guy here who says Terry is a bell end. Thank you. Cheers. Do you know the great thing is, like, people got around and said, I actually can't be offended. I don't know if that's is that an illness? Anyone doctors watching, is that a condition that like I don't get offended? Yeah, like I don't get offended when you attack me. I might be, you attack other people. I'm actually more offended by someone. If someone was horrible to you and was like, he wears glasses. No offense, you do. I'd be like, don't say that. It's just, attack me. I'm like, sweet, bruv. It's quite cool. So well done on your comments there. You've really shaken me off. Devon. Are you there? We've got I can hear you, brother. How are you?
Dude, man. I mean, it is what it is. I'm a little bummed. I was hoping to take a point, but, it is what it is.
Did you... We spoke last week after the game against City. Mm-hmm. Did you see improvements today? Not just in the tactical application, but also the attitude and behaviour of the Arsenal players on the pitch today?
Well, in the first 20 minutes, no. I have a tweet in my drafts where I was literally like, after 113 minutes, I've started to make decisions, and then we had that period that the 10-minute spell where we equalized, and I definitely did see some signs that I like, but the overall lack of organization in the back was troubling for me, and I would like to see. I said this last week when we talked. I'd like to see a full rip off of the Band-Aid. I'd like to see Torreira start from the beginning with Guendouzi. I think that pairing is vital to a defensive midfield pairing, and we can run a 4-2-3-1. Just put Lacazette up top and put Aubameyang on the left and play Ozil as a 10 and play Ramsey on the right. I think that you can fit these pieces in and play them together. And I'd love to hear what you guys think about changing up the defensive back four, because I think against West Ham, if we don't start Lichtsteiner, Mavropanos, Holding, and Monreal, then we're missing an opportunity to grow.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you on Bellerin, because you just mentioned Lichtsteiner. What do you think of Bellerin's performance today?
I think there was instances where they were bombing Willian, Barkley, and Alonso down that side, and Mkhitaryan and Bellerin looked like they had never played together before.
That's true, yeah. Because
so it was a constant 3-on-2, and Chelsea saw a weakness and went for it. Bellerin is not being that we played a 3-5-2 last season. I still think he has tendencies to play right wing back. And want to bomb up real high. And Mkhitaryan, as we know, he's not a great defender. I mean, he's always been more of an offensive player. So that pairing on that side presented a weakness, and Chelsea picked it apart.
Yeah, it was the majority of their attacks absolutely went down that side, exactly. And you could tell they'd exploited that for sure, definitely.
But another thing that I wanted to bring up, I know that Petr Cech put in some great performances, but let's call a spade a spade. We've played 2 matches, we've given up 5 goals. That's 2.5 against. We've scored 2. That's 1-4. So, we can't continue the Premier League averaging 2.5 goals against per match. And against West Ham, we get an opportunity to maybe play against a side where you say we can do that full bleed. I think that we had probably the most difficult 2 matches to start the season of anybody in the Premier League, and now we've got a run where I think we could be talking in 8 weeks or so about this team being 6-2-2.
Yeah, it's the perfect set of fixtures for that, and I think you're absolutely right. Just start the full bleed from that point. West Ham are also going through the same thing where they're having to bleed through the majority of their team, so they're still figuring things out.
Though. Doesn't hurt. We had a point. We definitely we looked great, and the match turned at 64 minutes when Eden Hazard came on. That was everybody talks about domination in the second half. There was no domination until Eden Hazard came on. Those first 20 minutes. It very easily could have been 5-5 in the first half. But the game completely turned when Hazard came on, and he put on a masterclass. All credits to Chelsea. They won. They were the better team on the pitch today.
100%.
No, I get that. But Dev, mate, really appreciate you coming on as always, mate.
Absolutely, guys, man. Y'all have a great week. We'll see you next week for hopefully a victory for my Gunners.
Lovely, mate. Take care of yourself, brother. Thank you.
See you, mate.
Absolutely. But that's it with the calls now, Malcolm. No, that's it. Cool. But listen, everybody who tuned in, we really do appreciate it. Sorry the phones took a little bit of time to get sorted today. Dave, Matt, let everyone know where they can find you.
We're going to be on Fan Chat TV. We're going to be doing fan cams tomorrow for Brighton Burn United outside the Amex. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, cool. I mean, I know you'll be busy doing that, but after that game, obviously, we're going to be on tomorrow. You can check us out on the Ultimate Football Fan channel. We'll be covering both Super Sunday games afterwards, taking calls. So if you're watching now on, say, Arsenal Fan TV, you want to come and watch us and support us tomorrow. And if you do enjoy the show that we do here, come and watch us on some of the other platforms when we're covering other games. Because the more viewers, the more fun, the more banter that goes on in the comments. I really appreciate that. So we'll be back tomorrow. Look, well done to Chelsea on the victory you picked up on today. Everyone enjoy your evenings. Take care. God bless. And we'll see you all again very, very soon.
Real fan opinions brought to you by Wash and Go.